At LANY, what we do internally, it's built on a mutual agreement of what is fair.
How did you start writing music, and when did you know it was your thing?
You're doing 200 shows a year. When do you have time not only to write an album, but for you?
I feel so blessed to have made some songs with some guys. Those songs found a pocket of people. 100% of the artists that you listen to in the last 20 years have some sort of Autotune on their vocals. There's a lot of other factors to consider, other than just how good is your pitch?
Something you don't like from the music industry?
Did he have a vision? Did he have taste? Was he kind of revolutionary and rebellious? Do we think Kurt Cobain was the best singer in the world?
You're giving me hope, bro.
It was when I finally got to the end of that and abandoned that, and that's when I started to really find success. Jake and I are incredibly aligned on where we want to go and who we want to be and how we get there.
Hey guys, we're here in LA, in the Hollywood Hills, with a very, very special guest, friend of us, pop star Paul Klein. He started writing songs in his bedroom in Nashville, Tennessee, and right now we're here. We were welcome in his house, and we're super happy to talk to him. And we're gonna do one of these episodes that we, with friends of us that inspire, and we're just happy to be here, Paul.
What's up, everyone? Thanks for having me.
Bro, thank you for inviting us to your house.
Of course, thanks for being here.
So, we're gonna start this little podcast. It's 11 a.m., I think, 12 a.m.
Not 12 a.m.
11.
Yeah.
11.
How has been your morning so far?
It's been good. I'm doing this thing right now where I'm trying to get up. It's called the 30-30-30, and it's this sounds so stupid, but I'm on my health journey right now, trying to take better care of myself. And so you eat 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up, and then you do 30 minutes of steady state, low intensity cardio. And so basically what that means is I get up and I slam a protein shake and I go walk for 30 minutes. Just nothing super crazy, but that's how I start my morning right now. And it's kind of nice because I think before that I would wake up, jump in the shower, and you just feel like you're racing.
Yes.
You know, you feel like you wake up, you're just racing against the clock, racing against your schedule and everything else. And you're in the shower, what am I wearing? What am I doing? And it's kind of nice to wake up, go on a walk, and I don't listen to anything. I don't bring headphones or anything. I just walk. And so I don't know, I think about my day. I can figure out what I want to wear.
Do you check your phone though? Do you?
No, I don't.
No social media until.
Oh no. I try not to. And so
You try.
You try.
You try.
No, I don't. I don't. I wake up, I go on the walk. I use that as a time to kind of reflect, pray, think, meditate, whatever, and then you start your day. It's kind of nice. So that's what I did. I think the crew was here right when I was finishing my walk, so they saw me in my tights, my tight shorts, and that was cool. Yeah.
Sick. We just want to ask you, I think that's a fair question, of course. How did you start writing music, and when did you know it was your thing?
And why?
So my mom pulled me aside when I was 5 years old. I'll never forget it. I was we're gonna be starting piano lessons. I'm really? Yeah. I was we never discussed this before. And so she's yeah, next Tuesday at 3:30, we're going to this lady's house named Miss Barbie, and we're gonna do piano lessons. And I was okay. And I was at Miss Barbie's house every Tuesday for the next 13 and a half years. I have her name tattooed on my wrist. She passed away a few years ago. So.
Wow, that's so sick.
But yeah, I was just kind of thrown into classical piano. And I won't act like I loved it. I really kind of hated it, but it was just a non-negotiable in the house. It was we're doing this. And my granny was in a nursing home most of my life growing up. So there was always pianos in nursing homes, and I would go and play when I would go visit her. And somebody came up to me and was like, "Would you want to come back and play for an hour? We'll pay you like $35." And I'm like, as a 12-year-old, I'm like,
Sick.
hell yeah, let's do that. And so I started studying jazz in like the 6th or 7th grade because that's what they wanted me to play. So Miss Barbie had a daughter named Amy, and Amy taught piano lessons as well down the hall in the house. So when my sister was doing her lessons with Miss Barbie, I would go to Amy's and I would learn jazz. So I was going on nursing home tours in middle school, and
That's your first tour.
that was my first tour.
That has to
was,
be like a
the
song name, you know?
Yeah, the nursing home circuit in Oklahoma. And yeah, so I don't know, I think that's when I really started to fall in love with it, when I started studying jazz and improv and like getting into songwriting. And I just knew that that's what I wanted to do.
What does it mean to study jazz? For people that is not like related to like music, how do you study jazz, you know? Because I feel like it's something that's my opinion, that even if you study, it's
Have to have
you
it,
need to
no?
understand it, no? Like
Yeah, I think jazz is like so open to interpretation. It's all like style, and it's all like it allows like a lot of space for your own unique like flair. And like the jazz book I had growing up is called The Real Book, but like for whatever reason people love to call it the fake book. But it would be just a spiraled binder full of jazz classics. And in that is the melody, or what people call the top line, and then the chords are above it. So it's really open to you how you want to fill in the space between the melody and the chord, what voicings you want to use, and what kind of even like tempo and temperature that you play it in. But as like a pianist, like as a solo jazz musician, you kind of stick to the script a little bit more, because I would use like my left hand to keep the pace and the rhythm, and use my right hand to punch out the melody. But playing jazz in a group setting is completely different, because yeah, you're doing a little bit less. It's like having a conversation. That's like jazz music. And a lot of like music in general is like that when you're playing in a band context. Like when you ask me a question, I'm not going to talk over you, and then you end your sentence and then I start mine, and that's kind of like how playing in a band is.
when was the first time you start writing your own songs and making your own songs? So you said you started at 13.
Started studying jazz when I was 13.
That's why you have a song called When 13, or no? Has nothing to do.
That has nothing to do, but look at Joan, like he knows the
we
catalog.
we
He's
know
done his
where
research.
we do research.
I think I wrote like my first song to ask this girl to go to prom with me, and which is like so silly, but yeah.
Is this
But it's
song
true.
Is this song public?
No, no,
Come on,
and
bro.
I don't remember it, but she said yes.
It
my
worked.
She was my first kiss. It worked.
It worked.
Good work.
But I think like I just started. Yeah, I started like kind of finding the music that I loved, and wanting to like try to write songs like the artists that I loved. And I spent probably a decade of my life writing some of the worst songs you've ever heard. And that's part of everyone's journey. Like, you know, I spent 10 years writing songs that nobody listened to, nobody cared about. And rightfully so, they weren't great. But it took a lot of trial and error, and finally got to a spot where,
And at the end, like when you start something, of course, when you start, you're not a pro, you know, like
of course.
you start getting more mature, your ideas, and everything looks more solid
Yeah.
in an organic way.
Yeah, I think I spent a lot of time trying to be something that I wasn't as well. I would look around at like my peers and see what was working for them, and think, okay, well, if it's working for them, then it should work for me. And I would sometimes maybe even sacrifice my like gut instinct to do something that was seemingly working for somebody else. And it was when I finally got to the end of that and abandoned that and was like, all right, what would I do? And that's when I started to really find some like success.
That's amazing.
I have a question. That you said that at the beginning you didn't really love piano,
Yeah.
but did you have a interest in music? Or like,
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I've never not had like a song playing,
oh, okay.
course.
you know, in the background, or most of my life has been soundtrack to music, of
Who,
course.
who was your inspiration by then? Like someone you look up, like I want to be this.
So I like found John Mayer in middle school, and I think that was like my mom always had the Beatles on in the car, and then she also like had Michael Jackson. She like loved Michael Jackson. But the first like artist like in my lifetime that we kind of connected over was John Mayer. My mom would drive me everywhere, you know, growing up. So it was cool to finally listen to something that we both really liked. And I thought his songwriting just right off the bat was really infectious. And I knew that it felt pretty elevated. And when you write like a phrase like slow dancing in a burning room, this is a metaphor that still just kind of floors me to this day. But there's so many great songs in his catalog. And for a while, he was my main inspiration. I kind of like charted all the songs that he wrote, tried to understand why I liked them, what chords he was using, why did I like that, what intervals and things like that. And then Chris Martin from Coldplay like made the piano cool to me, you know, because John Mayer is a guitar player.
You met him?
John Mayer?
No, from Coldplay.
I haven't met Chris Martin.
And John Mayer, have you met him?
Yeah, we went on tour with him.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah, we played 7 shows with them. I have like this tattoo on my arm, like 7 tally marks for the 7 shows we
Amazing.
played with him. And he's become like a big brother to me, which is
That's
really,
crazy.
really crazy. Yeah. But Chris Martin like made the piano cool to me. Growing up doing classical piano competitions wasn't very cool. No. And but seeing somebody like him kind of own that space was inspiring.
And 2014, you started LANY.
Yeah.
How did it start?
I moved to LA by myself on like kind of just following my gut, kind of just following my heart. I had no friends here, no job here. Previously, I'd gone to school in Nashville where I met the 2 other guys in the band. But they were like having success on their own. Jake, the drummer, was playing on everybody's album in college, and he was the guy that you wanted playing on your songs. And I, at that time, couldn't get like 3 people to listen to any songs that I was writing. So I just wanted to be friends with Jake. I never asked him to be in a band with me or anything like that. Wound up moving to LA and called Jake, finally mustered up the courage to be like, hey, can I fly back to Nashville for like 3 or 4 days, write and record some songs with you and Les in your house, in like this glorified bedroom in their house, and see what happens. He's like, come on, let's do it. So I flew there. We wrote and recorded our first 2 songs in those 4 days. Later put them on the internet to literally 0 followers. We put them on SoundCloud, Spotify, all of that, but we had no followers,
Nothing.
you know, nothing. And we each individually posted about the band from like our own accounts. It's like, surprise, we're in a band, go listen if you want. And within 10 days, we were getting emails from record labels, and I thought it was a joke. I thought it was spam. I had no idea. I'd never heard of. And these are like Polydor, Parlophone. We wound up signing to Polydor, but these were these labels that were in our email inbox, and yeah, it just kind of kept going from there.
So that was the day that everything started.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you didn't have a name yet.
No, we did. We did.
You did have a name
Yeah,
yet.
we were like, hi, we're LANY. And yeah, here are 2 songs that we made in the span of 4 days. Hope you like them. And had no idea really what it was going to turn into.
So you told us that LANY comes from LA, New York.
Yeah.
Why LA and not New York? I mean, why are you based here and not New York?
I just think LA is my favorite city in the whole world. I love it here. And I feel like you should feel that way about the places that you live. If you don't,
Barcelona.
you should.
Yeah, 100%.
We leave that about
Yeah,
Barcelona.
you know, like you guys love Barcelona and that's why you're there. And I love it here. I feel like my whole life came together the second I moved here. It's really interesting, you know. It took me 3 days to drive here from Oklahoma. I had a 2008 Honda Element that I put a U-Haul trailer on the back of. Just drove out here by myself. But the second I pulled into town, everything just started like coming together for me, you know? And I don't know if it was because I took a step, like a bold step, and took a chance on myself, and like the universe rewarded that, but I love it here and I I plan on staying for as long as I can.
Related to this and the van, how is your relationship with Jake?
I would say it's stronger than ever.
Like it's been so many years now
Yeah.
that I bet there has been no upside downs. How you handle that, because
Yeah.
it's something that Bill and I, of course, I always say that I'm a relationship of three persons: my girlfriend and then BL. and BL is like even more intense than my girlfriend.
Yeah, it's husband.
I believe that.
He has a
Because
husband and a wife.
I have to like, you know, like there's situations that even if we don't want to, we need to handle together.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's like the thing that, hey, I don't care what you think or what I think, we
Yeah.
need to talk this right now.
Yeah, and the little time that I've spent around you guys, I can tell that the relationship is like really healthy and beautiful. And congrats, by the way, on the Zara collab.
Oh, thank you, bro.
That's massive. So, way to go. Proud of you guys. Jake and I are really kind of similar. You know that phrase, opposites attract? I don't know if I believe in this too much, because I don't necessarily hate myself. I've tried really hard to like refine myself, and I don't know if I'm necessarily looking for someone opposite of me. In fact, I think like I'm trying to find somebody who's pretty aligned on a lot of like important topics and like the ethos of this band and where we want to go and who we want to be. And I think that's one of our strengths, is that Jake and I are incredibly aligned on like where we want to go and who we want to be and how we get there. And he also doesn't want to be the lead singer, and I don't want to be the drummer. So it works out great.
Perfect.
Yeah. And of course, we've had like creative differences along the way. And ultimately, we both have just, out of respect and I think out of wisdom, just been like, if we don't fully agree on something, then we don't do it. So if there's a song that I love that he doesn't, well, it just doesn't go on the album, period. And like we can talk about it, and I can be like, well, can I change your mind? And there's like a couple times where like I just don't feel comfortable with that lyric, or I think we should change that lyric. And then I'm like, okay, cool. We change the lyric. And he's like, great, song's ready to go. And so, and vice versa. If he's like, I love this song, I'm just like, I don't know, Jake. Like, I'm not in love with it, and I don't feel like it best represents either like who we are right now or who, you know. And he's like, cool, leave it off. We won't do it. Do we want to go on this tour? Yes. Do we want to go on this tour? No. Like we just, it has to be 100%, you know?
In such a intense situation of like constant traveling together with your partner, is there any other people that has become like so key to you, like that, you know what I mean, that makes you feel
Home and
home?
Yeah, definitely. We're really lucky. A lot of the people who work with us and for us have been with us from the literal beginning. Our manager, Rupert, has been with us since day zero.
So it's a family, basically.
Yeah, it is a family. There's a guy named Steve Day who, while we're on tour, he like kind of facilitates our merch and sells it and makes sure that all the quantities are correct. And then when we're home, not on tour, I would like he kind of is like a day-to-day. It's like he always letting me know my schedule and checking in with me. And he's been with us for like 8 years. And this is somebody, you know, that, yeah, this is my family, you know. And I'm really, really lucky. We're lucky to not have a high turnover rate at
course.
LANY. Like we're not always having to hire somebody new.
Yeah.
For the most part, like the people who work with us want to keep working with us, and that's awesome.
And all of your songs are like very personal. Do all of them like explain your life, like what happened to you? And are there moments where like you feel the most inspired?
Yeah, I write from an autobiographical place. We play so many shows around the world. It would be tough for me to get up there every night and kind of sing about something that I haven't actually experienced or felt. I am jealous of like the artists that write fun or funny songs, because I think that's like really, that could be fun.
Yeah.
Like, writing sort of like pretty lighthearted or silly or dance tracks even, you know.
Yes.
I'd love to try that, but I don't know. I don't know if it's like who I am, or I don't know if it's like, it's definitely not my forte. I think I view songs as therapy in a sense, and like a way to process often like difficult emotions. And I purposefully don't journal. I Because I think like once I say something and once I write it out, I'm like good. So I try not to, like if I have like an emotion that I'm kind of working through or wrestling with, I'll make a note about it, but I won't work it out until I start like sitting down at the piano. And
But like you're doing 200 shows a year.
no, not 200, like 100, but
100,
But
100.
100, bro. One
Yeah.
every
But
3
then you
days.
have to make also an album for next year. When do you have time not only to write an album, but and to create this music, but for you? Like,
well, that's a very sweet question.
no, that's insane.
I don't know. I genuinely just love what I do and what we do. So we do work all the time, but it doesn't feel like work. I'm sure you guys know.
Yeah. When you do what you love.
Yeah, you do what you love. Today after this, I'm gonna go to the studio and hopefully like we've been working on a couple songs, so get those across the line. But I do think next year we will take some time off to make the album, you know.
And you come to Barcelona.
Come to Barcelona.
We chill.
Yeah, I still have to get the best paella in the world, some sangria.
We host you.
Yeah, and I want to go to the beach, man.
Costa
Bro,
Brava, you come with
yeah,
us.
you come
Let's
with
go.
us.
Yeah.
Since I met you, I felt like I haven't felt like you are like I have a barrier, you know, like I see you like a famous guy would make you feel, you know what I mean? I feel like super human and like super down to earth
Oh,
and like
thank you.
super friendly and super calm. When you go out and perform in front of all the crowd, do you put like a mask on or like you know what I mean? Like you have to
Change personality a little
boom.
bit.
Yeah,
I'm a fucking
I've noticed it, yeah, and I've been told it as well. Like, I do think I turn into something different when I go on stage, but it's like literally the 10 seconds before I go up there, and about 10 seconds after, I'm like calm again. But yeah, something happens. And I actually think that's probably like a healthy balance.
yeah, for
I would
sure.
hate to be
course.
like,
The rock star every day, you know?
yeah, I guess so. Just like, doesn't seem very substantial. Wait, not substantial. What is the word?
Sustainable.
Sustainable. Yeah, let me do that. It doesn't feel very sustainable. But yeah, like when you go up there, you've got thousands of people who've come out and like they're ready to rock. And so let's go.
Do you have any like ritual before going to stage? Like you say something to yourself, you I don't know, something weird. Maybe you do something weird that we want to know.
I don't have anything like too crazy. We all live like our own lives on tour as well. It's like a healthy thing. Like we'll have sound check and Jake might go back to the hotel and get like a workout in. But we have a rule that an hour before we go on stage, everyone has to be at the venue. You know, everyone needs to be there at least 1 hour before, which sounds crazy. You would think that maybe like artists just sit back there. And I most of the time sit back. I love to feel like the room. I love to feel the energy of the place. It's kind of like a spiritual experience for me. It kind of stresses me out to leave the venue and then come back just like an hour before we play. But everyone at least gets in the same room an hour before we put on like whatever music we're listening to at the time, and we start warming up. We recently have just been doing like group jumping jacks, which sounds so stupid, but like we just get each other warmed up. And ever since we started the band, I've always wet my hair before we go on stage. I get it drenched. Like I want water everywhere because it's hot
Yeah.
and sweaty and really intense. And I just want to start with like some cold water on my head and on my face. So
Sick.
that's how we've done it. We get together, we do like a quick group prayer. I kind of try to cast the vision for the night. You know, like what are we thinking? How are we feeling? Who are we playing to? What kind of like energy or aura do we want to carry ourselves with? And then we go out there and crush.
And which would you say that has been your favorite show so far? You have one? You have one?
Hard to choose.
I think we're coming up on like 700 shows total as a band, which is like so many. I'll tell the story of this one. We played to one person in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And at that time, we were supporting another band, and that band was so cool. They had the kind of fan base that would show up like maybe even late to their set. Do you know what I mean? Like it was a pretty like nonchalant, too cool for school kind of crowd. So they definitely weren't showing up early to see the opening act, which was us. We'd play like 6 songs and we're done. And I remember there was one guy in this room standing at the back with his back against the wall. And we played that show like we were playing Madison Square Garden. I took my shirt off. I stood on the kick drum during this one song. And he moved up just a little. I was like, yo, come on, bro, come up here. You know, like move up. And he moved up a little bit. And I just remember learning so much about myself during that show. You know, because you could play to 50,000 people, but playing to one,
Wow.
and like, I just remember thinking like, I'm glad I love this. I learned a lot. I was like, okay, I actually think I really love this, you know, because I think most people might be pretty discouraged by that or would have like a hard time finding the energy to put on that kind of show for an empty room. But I was proud of us that day. I think we all were. And so that was a pretty memorable show. I'll never forget it.
I love that.
Thanks.
We know that you love jewelry.
Yes.
And when did you start wearing jewelry? And what does like mean for your style, jewelry?
My uncle Buddy bought me my first watch. It was like a leather band Mickey Mouse watch.
That's dope.
That's
Pretty
sick.
fire.
Yes.
You should wear it now.
Yeah, I have it. I have it in a safe actually.
Oh shit.
Just because it's precious to
Yes.
me with like other watches and stuff. But I think probably around like middle school, like the puka shell chokers and like the little like single charm necklace. I remember, I think around like 6th grade is when I started caring about what I wore. And I come from a town where people don't care too much about like style. It's a lot of cowboys, a lot of like guys that work on ranches or play football. And if you cared like about your style, and it was something that you would maybe even get made fun of for or about, but I didn't care. I loved like clothes from an early age, and so I think jewelry was one of the small things I noticed that could make a big difference. It was like a difference maker, but it was a small thing that many people overlooked. And
We
so I
always
thought
say that.
was- yeah.
We always say that like the detail that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
You can go with a plain shirt, but you go with this, and then it makes it like way cooler.
Absolutely.
Also, like I want to know like about your mom that she pushed you into the piano classes. What does she think now? Like she's the biggest fan?
Yeah, no, she's stoked. I don't think she thought it would even get to this level.
And you thought about it?
No.
That-
I always hoped so, you know.
You
like,
dreamed about it,
Of
no?
course, like in my bedroom every single night, just blaring music in my headphones and imagining it was me playing to like, yeah, lots of people. I've always had that like vision. But yeah, my mom is stoked. And one thing that my mom was so good at was documenting my like journey. And so
Until today, like
well, like as a kid, like she has so many videos
Oh.
of me playing piano and so many photos of me playing piano. I had her send me like a bunch last night. And it's cool just that she was like that engaged. So clearly, for whatever reason, she thought that she should like document the process. But yeah, she has thousands of videos and photos. So I'm thankful for that.
what's your dream song like feature or collab?
I think like I would do anything to make an album with Phineas, Billy's brother. I think that He's the best producer of our generation.
Yeah?
I told him this a couple weeks ago, actually. I even texted him. I was like, will you please make our next album? He's like, if I wasn't booked for the next 2 years,
Oh,
I
wow.
would. But I think he's a genius, and I have like a lot of respect for him. As far as like artists, I don't think about it too much just because it's so out of my control. And there's like a million factors why somebody would or wouldn't like do like a collab at the moment. So I don't think about it too much. There's not like a ton of artists. Like I love so many, but to do a collab, I'm not sure. But I know that collabs are like a big deal.
But like, do you see yourself doing a collab with Billie Eilish?
God, I mean, that would be the best. That'd be the best thing ever. I think I'm so thankful Billie Eilish exists because she's such a true artist and
She's
has such a unique style
Love that.
that reaches like hundreds of millions. And I love that she doesn't compromise who she is as an artist to reach more people. I love that she is unapologetically her, and that works. And that is like the most encouraging. Every artist in the world should be so encouraged by that because she has such a unique style, and there's so many yeah, yeah, I think that that's like the dopest thing ever when an artist is like unapologetically them and massively successful.
Much love, Billie Eilish.
Yes, man.
And
maybe she's the next one in this podcast.
Yeah.
something you just want, something you don't like from the music industry.
Wow.
There's so
Like
many.
backstage, something backstage that people don't know, like that we could like explain it, that you're like, this is something I don't like.
Oh man, I don't want to complain too much because I feel like really blessed. And obviously in any industry there's going to be like pros and cons and challenges, and um I would say that historically the way that label deals have been structured are pretty are like not nice.
Aggressive.
Well, I just think that but we all sign them. We
course,
kind of
of
know what
course.
we're getting into. But I just think that the way that I approach my negotiations with Rupert, our manager, even with Steve, who is my best friend and then also works with us, is I always base everything around fairness. Because I think fairness is like something that two people can really look into the whites of each other's eyes and be like, this is fair. Is this fair? And I think that there's some deals that artists have signed not knowing just how unfair they are. And that breaks my heart because I don't know if this industry is built on fairness, but at LANY and what we do internally, it's built on a mutual agreement of what is fair. And anything else other than that in the music industry is like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm so lucky and blessed that I get to write songs and basically make t-shirts and live my life and have an audience for that. So, you won't catch me complaining too
No,
much.
of course,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I just think that there's like a good one. How do you think that Autotune has changed the industry, and what do you think about it?
Well, I'm so thankful for Autotune. Are you kidding me?
So I can sing.
Yeah, yeah. Thank God for Autotune. I'm not sure exactly how it's changed it, but I would say that like 100% of the artists that you listen to in the last 20 years have some sort of Autotune on their vocals.
100%.
Yes.
And you think that talentless people can like get into a point where they're successful by Autotune? Because I know you and I, like the people that you references, they use it, but as like a 10% help, but probably not as like a 90%. Does that happen? Because people think about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Talent's like an interesting, because talent is one thing, vision is another, taste is another thing, marketing,
Everything.
sales. So being an artist in 2024 is not about being the most talented. And I don't know if it's ever really been about that because art is so subjective. So it's like, there's so many factors to it. So, I don't know. I think the first song I remember ever hearing with like sharp auto tune was potentially that Imogene Heap song, like "Where Are We? What the hell?" Like that one, or
Yeah.
of course like T-Pain kind of like um, popularized auto tune. But I don't really think it's necessarily about talent. Um, you know, I'm not like. Do we think Kurt Cobain was the best singer in the world? No, definitely not. I don't think he would say that. But did he have a vision? Did he have taste? Was he kind of like revolutionary and rebellious? Like, there's a lot of other like factors to consider other than just like how good is your pitch?
You're giving me hope, bro.
Joan's dream is like to become a
No,
singer.
There you go.
That's gonna happen.
I have one of the last questions, I think. What has been, and so we can relate this a little bit to like people that might be starting wherever they're starting or just thinking. What has been like your biggest achievement or your biggest challenge that you achieved in your career? How you overcome, and to finish, what's like your dream um, goal to achieve? I don't know if I explain myself right.
Okay, I don't know what the biggest challenge has been, but I think a challenge for anybody starting a company or a band or anything is finding an audience, right? And I feel so blessed to have made some songs with some guys, put them on the internet, and those songs found a pocket of people. Um, and I think maybe the challenge is there's that phrase like anyone can make it, but who can sustain it or something like that. I'm thankful that we have been able to sustain that audience and like continue to make music that finds like a new audience, a greater audience, a bigger audience, and that's amazing. I think if you look at LANY, it's never been this, it's never been like huge viral moment or anything like that. It's just literally been like this, just
Perfect.
slow and steady. Never been the most popular band, never been like even like the coolest. I don't know, like we've not really on any cover of magazines, never been nominated for anything, but we play to hundreds of thousands of people around the world and we get to do what we love pretty unbothered, mind our own business, like we own everything.
It's perfect.
It's kind of a beautiful thing. Do I wish that like the trajectory would one day I'd wake up one day and it would like tilt like this? Of course, but this is also good too. And I think my goal for the band and what we're doing is that whatever album we make does well enough that we get to make another one. And whatever tour we go on is profitable enough that we can afford to go on another one. And that's all I care about because like accolades and awards and whether a song goes number one or goes to like 1 million, it's so out of our control, so out of my control. But what can I do? Well, I can like follow my heart, follow my gut, my instincts, work hard, keep the vision like pure and deliver something that I believe in with Jake. And hopefully it does well enough that we get to do it again.
Never stop dreaming.
Love it.
There you go.
Full name,
Paul Jason Klein,
Profession.
musician.
single or taken.
That's between me and God.
Favorite food.
Steak.
Name an overrated song.
An overrated song?
Overrated song.
Or singer.
No, that's
No,
me.
song.
Song.
You cannot reply it, like I mean,
I'm trying to think of one that I actually think
I mean,
is
like you can not reply if you don't.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't.
Maybe no. Yeah, maybe I plead the fifth. Like pass.
Okay.
Okay.
Current trend you love.
Current trend I love is that you can really do anything, wear anything, and it's cool as long as like you believe that it is. Like this is something I love right now. No matter what you're wearing and dressing, if you wear it with conviction, it's fire.
Writing the music, writing a really good song in your bedroom or playing an amazing show?
I'm gonna say writing a song just because the feeling of having something that you love, like up your sleeve, that no one else has yet, is a great feeling.
Music or fashion?
Oh, I'm gonna say music.
And silver or gold?
Silver.
Instagram or TikTok?
I think I like TikTok.
That's like a spicy one.
Is this spicy?
Celebrity crush when you were a kid?
I would have to say Michael Jordan.
Oh, love that.
Latest purchase you have ever done? Like you've done?
Oh, latest purchase?
Yeah, something like the last thing you bought.
I just bought a Juno 106. It's like a vintage synthesizer.
Crazy.
Long hair, short hair?
Both are great. I do miss my long hair sometimes. I miss my long hair when I'm on stage, but on a day-to-day basis, I do prefer short hair, and I think I probably look a little better with it shorter.
Okay, I think the fire questions are like done, no?
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I know.
Bro.
I think, no, there's one more.
Okay,
It's like
well-
the surprise question.
Okay, surprise
so
question,
every
surprise
guest
question.
that comes leaves one question for the next one that we don't know.
Okay.
Who's gonna
So,
be?
and you're gonna leave a question for the next one that they need to reply.
Okay.
So we have here
That's cool.
I don't remember the question. Okay.
how much is your outfit?
Yeah.
Like Isakov, the guy that asks everyone how much is your
Oh
outfit.
my God, how
He's a
much is
really-
my outfit?
How much is your outfit?
Maybe $500.
Yeah, but like
I don't.
No, but
Like,
it's
this
funny
is a-
because this is the guy that asks everyone.
Oh, is
the-
it?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
him.
like the famous guy that did to Drake and everyone, you know?
I mean, these shorts were sent to me by my buddies, so these were free 99. But shout out Bare Knuckles, Jacob Keller, and Cole. We love you guys. These are DMA boots. Maybe these were a couple hundred. This is a vintage Harley shirt that I've had forever. Let's say it was $30. This is like a old vintage jean jacket thing, overcoat. This was probably a couple $100. I don't know.
Love that.
Yeah.
Just like you.
Yeah.
It's like whatever.
Yeah.
We will have to
Write down a question for
write
the
a
next
question
one.
for the
Just like
next one.
spicy one, you know.
Okay.
But you don't have to say it. You don't
Oh,
have to say it. You
oh,
don't
okay,
have to say it.
okay,
You don't have to say it.
All right.
Well, bro, thank you very much for your time, for welcoming us, for talking to us. It's
Muchas
been-
gracias.
Muchas gracias. Hope to come to one of your shows.
You better.
Yes.
Yeah, we better
We're gonna come to
fucking
Manila.
Yeah.
50K people.
Yeah. Yeah, please. Thanks for having me. Shout out to TwoJeys.
For till the next
love.
one.
Te amo.
Let's go.
We know that you have like some dance moves that are your like
Yeah.
signature dance moves. Like,
The body roll.
how did that come up? Like, did you like have to like think about it, design your dance moves? or-
No, I probably should. They're probably getting like repetitive at this point.